Well, thank you so much for joining us today for this Old Colony Law briefing. These briefings provide us with an opportunity to answer your questions and discuss the issues and news and matters that relate to the world of estate planning and taxes and asset protection. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to address in a future briefing, feel free to send an email to briefing@oldcolonylaw.com. I'm Claire Crowley, an asset protection attorney at Old Colony Law. I'm licensed in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. At Old Colony Law, we believe that estate planning is about more than just having a stack of documents or more. It's about more than just having a will. We are focused exclusively on asset protection and creating comprehensive and customized estate plans that protect what matters most. We have our flagship office in Hadley serving the Pioneer Valley, as well as a satellite office in Amesbury serving the Merrimack River Valley. And for more information on our services, or if you'd like to schedule a consultation, feel free to visit our website, oldcolonylaw.com. And for this briefing, of course, I'm joined by Ben.
Hey there, Claire. Always good to be joined with you together. Usually we're in our separate boxes on the Zoom, but we found ourselves in the same room today. And so, no, here we go. So I'm Ben Palkowski, attorney, CPA, the other half of Old Colony Law. Like Claire said, asset protection, estate planning is our wheelhouse. In particular, on my side of the practice, I lean into a lot of the tax planning. That's indeed why Claire keeps me around here for our clients. And so we thought we'd have a little fun with this briefing here today. We've actually had a couple questions that came in related to this over the last few weeks, just in the area of international estate planning. We were watching a little bit of the Olympics last weekend, and then naturally, I think our minds started wandering into the what do these athletes' estate plans look like, right? Especially a lot of these big brands, right, that have international business interests, so we started thinking about kind of the various international planning elements that frankly that we see in our office, in our boutique Massachusetts office. It comes up more often than you might think, right, Claire?
Yeah, I feel like we've seen in particular clients that have assets in foreign countries, for example, Canada, Mexico, Asia.
France has come up, I think, a couple times.
France has come up a couple times. Yeah, Portugal, Japan. So there is a lot to consider when addressing these assets that are held in foreign countries.
Yeah, because oftentimes with American side estate planning, we're kind of analyzing not just what property our clients have, but where is that property located? If that's in another jurisdiction, sometimes we have to look to see if there's a tax treaty on point. There's a couple dozen countries with whom we have tax treaties that relate to estate tax issues and so forth. We have clients where there's marriage and one spouse is a non-citizen, right? And there's some punitive provisions in the federal state tax code when it comes to the marital deduction in the context of a non-citizen spouse. It's interesting, in the last couple of years, we've seen an increase of not only clients who are thinking about leaving Massachusetts for tax reasons, but clients who are entertaining the notion of leaving the United States. And so, there's an estate planning element there. Okay, so what does that look like? You can't just flip a switch and move, right? So there's going to be strategic planning there in terms of how you're going to move your assets over. What are the tax implications? So it comes up. I would say, what is it, like maybe about 10 to 20% of our clients in our office, right, Claire? Would you say that you have some kind of international planning element, whether it's having a foreign asset, maybe again, there's a loved one who is a non-citizen, maybe there's a dual citizen, maybe there is a child living permanently or temporarily for a job or schooling abroad, right? Then you have to think through, okay, well, the tax considerations are one thing, but then let's think about the practicality, right, of having, your child in the Philippines named as your agent on your power of attorney. That might not make a whole lot of sense, so. No, for as we talk with our financial advisors and accountants out there, we just like to put that on your radar. Right, like 20% of Massachusetts residents are foreign born. There's an increasing just mobility, right? People are just moving all over the place. Children grow up, move across the country, they move across the world, and accordingly there are estate planning implications there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think really, the analysis, at least for our side, for the drafting attorney side, is we want to know, obviously, is the client a U.S. citizen, but also, where is the asset? What are the rules that govern that asset in that country? Different countries approach estate planning, from a different perspective, right? Some countries don't recognize trusts. Some countries don't recognize wills. In some countries, probate's not a big deal. So we need to look at where that asset is held, in what country. And we also need to figure out, how the best way we can pass that asset to the beneficiary in light of any sort of tax implications.
Yeah, sometimes we have to look at, what law applies. In the US, we have to look at, we look at the laws of where the property is located. But sometimes when we're looking at foreign assets, the foreign law will say, well, we're going to look to the laws of where the decedent resides. And so there's kind of like a circular analysis you have to deploy there. Frankly, folks, often it's the case, when it comes down to drafting documents, we're advising clients to get a separate will done in that foreign jurisdiction that specifically disposes of that property in that jurisdiction, and we'll work stateside on making sure that their stateside assets are bought. So you have two wills, and we're specifically stating that they only apply in said jurisdictions.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that sounds kind of crazy, right? Like, you can have two wills. Like, okay, so you're going to have a will that governs your U.S. assets, and a will that governs those foreign assets in that foreign country. So that's how you can have two wills.
Yeah. Two domestic wills will just create confusion. So don't take the multiple will advice to heart by any stretch of the imagination. Right. So no, good stuff. Yeah. So so go USA. I don't know what are you looking at for the Olympics as it wraps up? It's we're recording this on Wednesday, the 18th. As of right now, U.S. is in third place in the medal count, a little bit behind Italy, distantly behind Norway. That's in first place right now, both in golds and overall medal count. But I don't know. What are you going to be looking for, Claire?
Well, I'm at least I believe it's tomorrow. The U.S. women's hockey, they're playing Canada in the gold medal round. So that should be a really fun game. I'm looking forward to that. I think tomorrow as well, figure skating wraps up for the women at least. So it's the women's final in figure skating, which is always, I think, fun to watch. And it's amazing. Some of these athletes are it's incredible.
Yeah.
They really inspire me, a lot of them. It's crazy. And the perseverance that they put into getting to this point, even in their careers. It's, their whole life is, figure skating or bobsledding or whatever. It's just, I really admire them. I like all of the Olympics, honestly, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to the hockey game tomorrow as it wraps up.
Yeah, hockey. I have not been paying attention. We watched a little bit, a few hours over the President's Day weekend, but I just haven't devoted as much time, I don't think, as I typically have. I think I usually watch the summer more. I like the golf, the soccer. I guess I'm with you in the hockey. I guess but look, I'm with you. It's really fun to watch. It's good, just with everything going on in the world. Just having everyone get together to have some friendly international competition, and of course, we're always going to find an estate planning connection.
Absolutely. So thank you, folks, for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you at our next briefing.
All right. Cheers, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you.